final third.
I think Pepe's so coachable.
Right, you should be in
just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We bailed you out. We bailed you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You facing charges.
Come get it back in blood. Come get it back in blood. You know, we're talking about what? You know, we're talking. Let's silence the fear of. Ten Hag, you've changed my life. Ten Hag, you've changed my life. This is even the Rearview show. This is just a homage, a homily to Eric Ten Hag. What have you done for me? A year ago, I was watching us get flipping dumped out by Atletico Madrid. Not even a whimper. Anthony Elanga was our best player. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional. It's not the fact that we won the match. It's just everything. It's just, this shit means something to me, yo. This shit means something to me. Oh my God. Eric Ten Hag, the worst thing is you're not a silly manager. You're not one person that's willing to ride or die by their one tactic and say, if this doesn't work, I've got nothing else. I've got nothing. Look, I've got nothing left. That's not Ten Hag. Man put Weghorst up top. He said he had something different for Barcelona. He said he put Weghorst up front. And it fucking didn't work. It didn't work a little bit. It didn't work a whole bit. It didn't work at all. But you know what he didn't do? He didn't dig his head into the sand. He didn't put his head into the sand and say, you know what? I'm going to ride or die by this. He acknowledged the mistake. He acknowledged that Weghorst is a flipping slow prick. And he took him off at halftime and brought on Anthony. Put Rashford up front and he changed the complexion. He went from Michael Jackson black to white, changed the complexion, changed it. Now we're attacking with pace. We're attacking down the sides. There's link up. What do you think this is? I've got a gaffer. Xavi, take that nonsense you were trying to cook. Whatever you were trying to take it, and dash it over there.
The fact that you started this alone is ridiculous.
Get this guy off the screen. This guy thinks I finished my monologue. This guy thinks I finished my homage to Eric Ten Hag. For those that didn't believe, I hope you believe. I hope you see the vision. I hope you see.
You believe. You that wanted touch.
Take him off the screen. Why does he keep coming on the screen? What's he talking about? Oh, Eric Ten Hag, Raphael Varane.
You wanted
Martinez. Licha Martinez, you've changed my life. I've never seen defending like this at Old Trafford since the days of Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand. What a partnership. And you people are living up to it. You look every single attacker in the eye, and you say, you know what, let's have a flipping scrap. Martinez, 5'2". You look Robert Lewandowski in the eyeballs, looking dead center in the eyeballs, and you say, let's have it out. Let's have it out, old school, no guns, no knives, just like how they used to do back in the days. Just your two of these. Let's have it. Let's have at it. Not too many people want to do that nowadays. And it takes 5'2" Lisandro Martinez to say, you know what, let's have a Barney. I've told you about this Lewandowski fella. I've told you people. Man came to Old Trafford and didn't have a flipping shot on target. Did not have a shot on target. And that's why, because I've got Raphael Varane and Licha Martinez in my back line. If you want to look at men, if you want to see men, if you want to look at the definition of men in the English Oxford Dictionary, you will see a picture of the partnership of Raphael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. Those are people that can stand up and be counted for when it's time to be counted for. Oh my God. Just let us get back into the Champions League. We're giving you this on a Europe. We're giving this on a naughty Thursday night. This on a Thursday night. Everyone's gone to Brixton to go pop jam, go get after work drinks. It's not even a Champions League night. Everyone came home for Champions League nights Tuesday, Wednesday. It's Thursday. Everyone's out. This is the working man's Friday. But we're giving you this on a Thursday. We're giving you Showtime football on a Thursday. What does that mean? We're giving you Showtime on a Thursday. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Casemiro running it back just one more time. He said, you know what? I need to dunk on these niggas just one more time. Just one more time. Just for old time's sake. I miss the feeling. I miss it. So you said, you know what? I need to run it back one more time. Run it back one more time. Oh my God. You see this year. You see this year. You see this year. Yeah. Put it in the dust. Good night. Go win your stinky champion. Go win your stinky La Liga. We do not care. We do not care. Welcome to the final third European Rearview show. I am your very, very, very ecstatic host, Banks, my ever faithful co-host, Lavish or Oluwashemi Lore or Kante's cousin. How are you feeling? The people know how I'm feeling. How are you feeling? Talking on mute because he doesn't want to talk on Ten Hag. He doesn't want to talk on Ten Hag. He's still talking on mute. This guy's a bum. Let's get some of these.
I said I'm feeling calm. I feel I'm feeling calm. Your Wi-Fi's is lagging, so it's calm. Don't worry, man. I'll take over now. Your Wi-Fi is lagging, so let me drive it. But I'm feeling calm. To be honest, I liked that little display, that exhibition match, you guys, because I had to remind everyone. I think this is still like you're still going into the round of 32 after this little match you still played. No, but just extra games that you did need to play. To be honest, we're just here waiting.
You give this team all the games you want. It don't matter. There's too much mentality right now. It doesn't matter. Give us 100 more games. Give us 100 more games before the final on Sunday. And we're winning them all, lads. We're winning them all. Did you not see what happened out there? Did you hear the noise? Did you hear the crack of the Old Trafford crowd? The crack. Have you ever heard Stone Cold Steve Austin come back from an injury? The crack that the crowd gives, that was for 90 minutes. And you thought Barcelona was going to do something. That team got the Stone Cold Steve Austin return from injury treatment. And you thought Barcelona was going to come and do something. Oh, Allah, I love this team. I love this team again. Oh, my God. Ten Hag, you're going to take me to the moon. You're going to take me to the moon, and I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you, brother.
So anyway, so let's rein it in, because obviously, as Nathan said, Bank sounds like a Decepticon. Obviously, with his Wi-Fi just keep crackling. But let's start from the biggest talking point in Europe: 5-2 Anfield. Right. What happened?
The Chim do that. We're going 5-2 Anfield. Let's go. Whew. Oh, I'm been on this United high. You don't even want to get me on the Real Madrid Liverpool high. That's a whole different high. I need to take a second because what happened? Liverpool happened. This is the Liverpool that we've seen all season. So it shouldn't be a surprise that what's happened has happened. They had a nice little 20-minute spurt. They were on top for 20 minutes. They gave Liverpool, they gave Real Madrid some work for 20 minutes. I will not lie to you. Gave them some nice work. But then Real Madrid, it's literally just this. It's literally just this. Oh, go with it. All right. Turn off the music. All right, cool. That's it. That's literally it. That's it. You caught me slipping to. I was trying to change the music. I was trying to set the mood. I was trying to give everybody a vibe. And you thought, nah, let me take that 20 minutes to go score 2
You gotta respect Real Madrid's. You gotta respect Real Madrid's gangster when it comes to European competitions. The way in which they turn it on time and time again. It's not the first time that they had their backs against the wall. They've been at least 6 or 7 times in the last 5 years in which Real Madrid will have their backs against the wall and they'll be like, cool, it's time to go. And yeah, Sammy come, yeah, of course he's but interesting. Yeah, so yeah, no, first and foremost, I want to give a special shout out to Jinky. Vinicius is different. It's different kind of gravy. I know the dip's quite high. I'll still get it. It's a banker. It's still a banker. It's like buying into Apple stock. You're fine. It's fine. It's he's different class. The way he brings the ball down, the pace at which he moves, like sets off, the way in which he works very, very tight angles that ain't even there. And then he gets his finish off now as well. It seems so far away when Benzema said stop, he's playing against us. That seems so long ago.
So
Like
long
that
ago.
just doesn't seem like it's the same player. Benzema I think Benzema's clocked the art of like a modern day number 9. If you look at how Benzema played versus how Lewandowski played against Man United, fair enough. Man United is on good form and Liverpool ain't, but Benzema was picking up positions in which confused
Shall I
Liverpool's
tell you
back
what?
four. But I feel like obviously the midfield has a very big part to play in having to deal with that. But Benzema was picking up positions in which kind of muddled up how Liverpool was going to deal with that attack, and then you compare it to how Lewandowski was today, in which
This guy's still years later. You're still hating on Benzema. There's levels to this at this point, bro. There's levels to this. We're talking Ballon d'Ors and stuff now, man. We're talking Ballon d'Ors and stuff, and it's different gravy as Lavish put it, man. I think the most underrated part of the two players that you just mentioned right now is their ability to work together in tight spaces. That sometimes they'll literally be on the touchline and they'll have Liverpool players forming a ring around them, and they're still working it, jinky, pass,
bruv,
open up, send it to the other side. And it's not even just the technique, it's the bottle to play in those spaces. Because
yeah,
9 times out of 10, you're losing that ball. But if you don't have the bottle to play those certain, I'm gonna get back, I'm gonna be there, bro, you to play in those tight spaces, different gravy. But yeah, you made another good point as well, because the midfield behind them, Camavinga, Modric especially, I think those were the two standouts. Valverde had an industrious game, but
I don't think Camavinga was that good.
not to start with. He grew into the game. 100% agree. Didn't start well, but he grew into the game. And by the time Liverpool, by the time Real Madrid were 3-2 up, 4-2 up, comfortably one of the better players on the pitch. He grew into the game for me. He grew into the game because first he was he didn't know where to be, because he was industrious, but Liverpool was still cutting through them in the first 20 minutes. So as the deepest midfielder, you're clearly not doing something right.
Yeah.
If Liverpool can keep cutting through you. But as they grew into the game, Liverpool, those transition opportunities just dried up completely. They dried up completely for Real Madrid and for Liverpool. That's because he understood where to be. That's not usually his role. That deepest midfielder, that's not usually his role, but he grew into that game and he understood where he needed to be. And that's just, again, that just talks to the mentality of Real Madrid, because you're 2-0 down away from home, and it never felt as if the game was away from them. Like Liverpool were in charge, but maybe this is just a symptom of what we experienced last season, but it never felt like, oh shit, this game's going to run away from Real Madrid, or this game is gone from Real Madrid. Never once. Never once. You literally looked at the score and thought, even if it finished 2-0 at Anfield, you still knew they were in the tie. You still knew that.
Yeah,
but even 100%. the game, you still thought there's something here for Real Madrid. There's something here.
I think if the score, the only time I rule Real Madrid out of a tie is if it's 4-0 in the first leg. That's the only score line. Anything less, if it's 4-1, no chance. They're in the tie. But ultimately, Real Madrid really showed the classic league and Champions League, the two different competitions. We have they're two completely different teams, and it takes two different type of mentals. So I want everyone to remember this when going into Champions League games, when a team's on bad form in the league. It's like we have such short-term memories that just because you're doing bad in the league, everyone's like, oh, there's no way they're going to beat Dortmund, or they're going to beat this team or that team. Just remember, if you have that European pedigree, it actually goes a long way, as cliche as it sounds. Pivoting on to Liverpool, deep because they had...
Keep going. I'm going to get some of these comments on the board.
I said pivoting on to Liverpool is deep because they thought they was on the bounce back, and I thought Liverpool was going to win. I thought they're going to win the whole tie. Liverpool had the perfect start to the game. obviously Darwin Nunes, I think Gakpo, like they were playing well, like they got their goals, but again, it's just how Real Madrid how Real Madrid just take their chances, and it just goes firstly down to taking your chances, and then I'm gonna look at Klopp. We know the midfield's arse. We know this is. I'm gonna look at Klopp there. You've got to, at one point, manage the game properly, because I say this: Liverpool were playing like they were 2-0 down when they were 2-0 up, and they were playing like they were 2-0 up when they were 5-2 down. Like they didn't play it. Once Real Madrid started scoring or got it to 2-2, they didn't lay a glove on Real Madrid. But when they were 2-0,
process what you were saying, but you're right. You're right.
But when they were 2-0 up, they was going hell and leather to try and get more. Now, what that goes back to the old heavy metal Klopp thing when there was 2-0 up, in terms of when they were saying Klopp doesn't know how to take his foot off the gas. That's what that, and fair enough. You had the momentum. It's the risk in which you take. So if it gets to 3-0, everyone will say you're a genius. If it turns out how it turned out, it's like you had no. But at some point, you've got to be able to, and this is why you're a manager and all of us are just fans. At some point, you've got to be able to be like, you lot, let's manage the game. Whether it's him that makes the decision or Henderson on the pitch or Van Dijk. But it completely mismanaged that game. As good as Real Madrid were, Liverpool completely mismanaged that game. And the sad part is, as much as it's all fun and games that it's happening to Liverpool again, Liverpool, I expect that from Arsenal if Arsenal go into the Champions League next year. Liverpool, what I'm saying is, Liverpool, you've been here before. You get what I mean?
They've been here before, but this team that they're here with, I really deeped it at the end of the match when that the substitutions that they were making. It just really emphasized the fact that you came into a gunfight with your fist. You came into
with a water gun. You came with a water gun.
You came in with nothing to defend yourself. Bayetic, who's impressed in the Premier League, as you said, he's impressed in the Premier League. He's been their best midfielder for a while now. You've stepped up against Luka Modric, a genuine all-timer, and you've brought Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, and Stefan Bayetic. And
Bayetic is still the best.
And it still wasn't even close to being enough. It still wasn't even close to being enough. You've walked into this with your hands tied behind your back over 90 minutes. That they had the fast start, but at the end of the day, Real Madrid aren't going to lose a midfield battle to those three, and it showed in the end. Not just because of, again, the three up front, but and you can't even move as if it's the classic Kroos, Casemiro, Modric. They had less experienced people like Camavinga in there. It's not Valverde, who's not exactly brimming with experience. This is just quality youth, just knowing what to do, like those that know what to do in the game, being there, being in the right positions, knowing what to do, compared to midfielders that previously you might have trusted in these sort of games, but you can't trust that midfield against Newcastle with 10 men. Deep what happened at the weekend, Newcastle had chances. Newcastle were the better team for most of the match, despite going down to 10 men. But you still pulled up to a big Champions League game against Real Madrid with that same midfield. Knife to a gunfight, water gun to a gunfight. Liverpool, when you really deep it, again, even the other subs, Milner for somebody, I think it was Milner for Henderson, Matip for Joe Gomez, who had an absolute horror show, man. And it's getting not sad, but at the same time,
Joe Gomez is going outside. It's going outside.
It's stop putting him in this position. Like it's difficult to watch now. It's difficult to watch, especially
Joe Gomez is going outside. So.
He was a top centre back before the injury, and now it feels like every single game you can blame him for something, which is never good for your confidence. It's never good for your form. Like you're literally watching Gomez pretty much every single game just give away something. The first goal, you could say that he could close down Vinicius a bit more, but I think Jordan Henderson was even a bit more suspect for that goal. The second goal is a pull back pass to Alisson. That just emphasizes how shaky his confidence was, because that shouldn't be a bubbly back pass. Alisson made a massive mistake. Don't get me wrong, but
Joe Gomez initiated it.
Third goal, Militao header. I'm not sure if he ran off of Gomez for that one, but I have a feeling.
Gomez is somewhere to blame within there, but I if there's anyone I'll give him grace, it'll be that one. I just feel, all in all, it's proper humbling for Liverpool. Like it's proper, like it's a proper humbling. It's like the icing on the cake. It's like the proper humbling in terms of,
if you ever needed to know that this rebuild gotta happen now, and it's
that you don't lose 5, you don't concede 5 at Anfield and feel like you feel like nothing's gonna change, and you feel like something's got to change. If that's a wake up call to John Henry or whoever it is at FSG that's gonna decide whether we're gonna sell or gonna put money to the club, something's got to change, and the club needs to come out and needs to sound the alarm to some degree. Yeah. I wanted. No.
You know what? I can't lie. Your captain, well, vice captain, leader of the back line,
come back from an injury, bro.
Oh, come on, bro. We're not doing that.
Come back from an injury.
We're not doing
but
that.
I was gonna talk just quickly. That snooze fest of a Champions League tie, the absolute ball draw.
City.
Yeah.
Oh,
City.
Yeah, no. As I said, that game, I told you lot in the chat.
I was gonna ask you a question. Let me rather than talking about that.
Before we get on to City, let's go through something. I'm gonna get these comments on the on the screen. He's like, Nathan said, I'm off the activist. I'm leaning over. Bang your doors for Chim. It's been a tough. And Jim said something so real in the chat. Just like, let's answer this question though, Shem. Like, why'd you lie to him like that? You told him Liverpool were gonna win. Like, why'd you lie to him like that?
Job's not done. Job's not done.
Yeah, the hair first. It's not done.
Job's not done.
Again, apologies. Hold my hands up. Word to Kevin Hart.
You got me.
Literally. Europa League back-to-back seasons, man. We'll talk about Xavi. We'll see whether that wristwatch is really blinging. We're going to talk about whether that wristwatch is really, really blinging. This was better than the Wednesday night UCL games. Facts. We're bringing the vibes to Europa League this season, man. You got literally we're going to talk about it, man. I've got tears in my eyes thinking about Ten Hag again, man. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Shout out PS from Zone 2. You said it best. Look at them guys telling lies. Banks, you're sounding like a Decepticon. Like a deception. Decepticon or deception. Either way.
I think you meant Decepticon. Sorry. Either way, I apologize.
Decepticon. I'm clipping that. What part are you clipping? I don't even remember what. I'm telling you, that first 5 minutes was an out of body experience. I promise you. I promise you. I wasn't in control. I wasn't in control. They have some form, and the fans are loud again. Fair weather fans. I hope you're not talking about United, because we've been in the trenches. So we deserve a little bit of sunshine. Let's have our shine. Let's have some shine. Banks, your bandwidth is doing shaku. Fix it.
You're literally going through every comment. Back to what I was gonna say. So my main point on City, I was gonna say, Banks, do you think we could end up in August or in May at the end of the season with City, who bought Haaland to strengthen their squad, but they end up trophyless?
Let's actually put the pieces together. Champions League, I still expect them to go through next round.
I don't expect anything with City in the Champions League. I can't lie to you. Like City show me no sign of them ever being a Champions League, like a Champions League winner. What did we say earlier about in terms of Champions League pedigree has a big part to play in this tournament? That's why there's not how often do new teams win the Champions League?
What's it? 2022 Real Madrid, 21 Chelsea,
The last new team I can think that won the Champions
2020
League
Bayern
was
Munich.
Chelsea. Was
Liverpool.
Chelsea?
Yeah, it's Turkey still. It's
It was
Turkey.
Chelsea. 2013 was Chelsea, and that's a decade ago. Everybody else has won it before. Before Chelsea, who was it? Who won it? That was new. Inter maybe, but Inter probably
Inter.
won it before.
I think Inter probably have a couple
But
European.
fair enough, they have no pedigree, so cool, Inter. But yeah, there's no new teams don't win. The closest, there's a lot of closest. There's Arsenal, there's PSG, there's a lot of
Does that,
closest.
for you, does that take or does that have a knock against Napoli?
Yeah, Napoli in terms of the favourites. Well, outside of what Real Madrid did, Napoli look like the favourites. If we're gonna use league forms and all these things, obviously Napoli look like the favourites. But again, we've got to really dismiss the league. If Napoli need to face a juggernaut in the next round for that stock to go up. And then we can really, but I don't believe City are the favourites. I don't believe PSG are the favourites. Although that nasty Mbappe did a couple weeks ago last week against Bayern.
If Mbappe was
he did that on crutches. He did that on crutches. Everyone needs to bear in mind.
If he's fit for the first leg, they don't lose that match because Bayern Munich wasn't great, but PSG just had no threat without Mbappe. Neymar and Messi were just doing jinky, but it wasn't jinky majinky. It was just jinky. So I guess with Mbappe coming back, even Neymar's injured for that one. It's gonna be. I still think PSG are in that tie. But you make good points about the fact that it's way more difficult for new teams to. It's like an old members club, man. It's difficult to get into that club. Difficult to get into that club. Yeah, and you make a good point about Napoli needing to face a big boy because in Serie A they've put away the big boys.
Serie A is ridiculous this season. AC Milan's fall off has been ridiculous. Roma, they'll play you for a draw occasionally. Like the occasion they win. Juventus had nowhere to know that Juventus are not Juve. Inter, touch and go. They had a good game the other day against Frankfurt, but touch and go. So it's not the competition. There's not as rocky as obviously what the Champions League would be. But Napoli do look. They're like the hipsters' favorites. Like they're the everybody's.
At what point do you stop being the hipsters' favorite and just have to accept that
when you beat a juggernaut?
Be a juggernaut. You heard it here first. They gotta beat a juggernaut. Madrid on some form and Sammy comes back. Sammy defending his case though. He lets you know. Sammy defended his case. I said, I'm always here, 10 toes down. Let them know, Sammy. 10 toes down, Sam. Oh my God.
If City end trophyless, Banks owes the chat 5 ace of spades bottles. Hey.
You don't come collect that off me. You know I'm good for that. You don't know I'm good.
Let's get on to what we just witnessed now. Let's go to OT. Now, let's not everyone watch the game. So we're not here to dissect the game. Let's get into manager talk, man. Let's get into some manager talk now. Before I praise Erik ten Hag, which I'll save towards the end, at what point is your footballing legacy and your footballing credibility and just basically the footballing cachet, the cachet you've built up as a footballer, gonna be exceeded by what you do as a manager? Because a lot of these ex-footballers are only in the job because of the feeling, the nostalgia, and what they brought with the ball at their feet. Xavi, that's twice you've been dunked out of the Europa League. And specifically this one here, Xavi, you got out-coached. You got out-coached at home and you got out-coached away.
That Xavi watching Europe is fake. Xavi European record is shocking, 25% win ratio. Yeah, I think Europe is the key word here. I don't know where it is once he leaves Spain, but the paellas and paelling is not
paellaing.
It's not paellaing at all. Like he's badding up the league on the 1-0s and keeping the defensive clean sheets. Robert Lewandowski's what 25, 26-ish goals or something. So obviously he's doing the right things in front of them. in Europe, it's not clicking. It don't click for them. It don't click. You think back to the first leg, um, and you can't not say United were the better. I think United were the better team for the first
United
leg.
were the better team at their
It was a
house.
good game. It was a good game.
United
but
was a better team over there at the Spotify. And
then
you come over here, they come over here and like, okay, I thought you've learned. You've got Kessie being more aggressive, like you've got people just high up the pitch, you're gonna suffocate them. But you've got to capitalize when you're on top. You have to capitalize there. And they didn't. They didn't. The workhorse thing, you lot got found out with the workhorse thing. I think it ran its course just in general.
Yeah,
Like obviously, I'm seeing people hype it over the weekend, and it's run its course. It's
the
one of those
worst thing
tactics. It's one of those tactics you just do as a tweak, like for
Yeah.
1 or 2 games, and you move on, like a quick fix.
The worst thing about Weghorst is he was genuinely signed to be a backup. But Martial's flipping fitness means that this guy's been starting all of our game. Like he's never meant to start. He's got
a fair showing. He's got a fair showing. Ten Hag's done him nice. He's got a fair
He's done
showing.
it nice. He's played like 9 games in a row.
Yeah,
he should have. Weghorst would never have a reason to play 9 games in a row for Manchester United. Odion Igalo didn't play 9 games in a row for United, and he was a much better player than Wout Weghorst. So there's no if it wasn't for Martial's fitness, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's good. I can't lie, he's not good. Let's call it. He's not good. He's not good. But all in all, credit to Ten Hag for. I love when managers because as fans we think we know everything, but it's so refreshing when you're watching a game with the wide lens view we have of a TV. You get to see the whole picture. We can clearly or quickly identify what we think is wrong with the game, and I love when managers make the changes in which everybody can see. It's so refreshing, especially when it comes off. Especially when it comes off. You said take them off, hit him with the pace, and as soon as he made those changes, it's like Barca didn't know the players he was bringing on. Like Barca acted like they're playing a team in the 5th tier of English football where you have no data on everyone in which you're playing. Do you get what I mean? So the people coming on, it's like when they're exploiting your weaknesses and amplifying their strengths, it's caught them by surprise. So
I think the best thing about that is the fact that there's a manager that can acknowledge his mistakes and decides to rectify it quickly. Like once you can do that, you're in a different place to most managers.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Most managers will live and die with their decisions and think, you know what, this tactic worked in my head. It has to work on the pitch. Keep playing. Sometimes you'll see a match and you'll know if we played 180 minutes, we're not scoring a goal. That's what it would have been if we stuck with the first half team.
Yeah,
that's what it would have been, because we were woeful in that first half. Woeful. We couldn't get Rashford into the game. Sancho was anonymous in midfield. Bruno on the right wasn't working. He gave away the penalty from tracking Balde. Weghorst was doing nothing up front. Like if we stuck with that team in the second half, we lose that match. But Ten Hag identified that and he said, you know what, something else can work. I've seen where the tweak needs to be, and he got the pace and the combinations right. He put flipping Rashford, Sancho, Luke Shaw closer together on the left hand side. Allowed them to interplay. Allowed Bruno to come into the 10 interplay as well, and it allowed more combinations. Allowed everyone when you can attack at greater pace, because don't matter how good your chest control is, don't matter how good your hold-up play is, if you can't then sprint and then make it into the box, you're not posing a threat to the back line. You're not scaring the back line if you hold the ball off around 18 yards and then you can't sprint and test that defense.
It's fine. They can even dive in on you. They'll know they can get you on a recovery.
Bro, literally just fall back. They'll let you chest control it, tap it to someone else and say, you know what, I know where he's going. I can see, I can track it easy. Or if you've got someone with some pace, some movement, hopefully, I think that, as you said, I think that has to be the end of the Weghorst experiment. As annoying as it is, because Rashford thrives best on the left, you have to just play him up front, because it gives us a different dimension when we've got someone with some pace up front, someone that can stretch a defense. Sancho as the middle winger. Sancho was middle.
That
nothing
is a
today, man.
hilarious position to call him.
That's the
That is
Pogba position. That's the Pogba position.
No, don't you dare disrespect Pogba.
Middle wing.
Middle winger is a joke position.
You don't know about Pete Pogba. Put Pete Pogba middle wing, just like left hand side. Let him do whatever he wants over there. That's middle wing. Sancho was not playing middle wing. He was doing middle nothing.
Yeah.
This European exit leading to them potentially declaring bankrupt.
Yeah, no, because they've edged all their bets on the stadium, making European competition. Because the La Liga money don't cut it. So a lot of man are getting in summer. They'll be fine though. In summer they'll get their European money for qualifying, but a lot of man have to for them to balance them books. Max, I got that 5 a.m. I got that 5 a.m. We need to round up soon. I just deep.
Let's be real. Barca can't hack the PMP. I hear Banks middle wing Pogba was out here. Last thing I'm going to touch on. Leverkusen. Did you see the Leverkusen match?
No, I didn't. To be fair.
I think it was what 5. I don't even know if you won in the end. I think it was 5-5 on aggregate. But yeah, no, that was a brazy game. Nathan, who won that?
5-5 on aggregate,
bro. And it wasn't even just the 5-5. It was top quality football. Frimpong, just wait. We're taking you to Old Trafford. Go watch the tapes now.
Yeah, no, I bought him on FM.
Invest now. Go check the stats.
I bought him on FM. Peak fullback.
That Leverkusen game was bonkers. Leverkusen on pens. Fair enough.
Just to let everyone know, the draws are 11 o'clock tomorrow, Friday, 11 o'clock. So everyone in Europa, you're gonna know who you're getting in the next round.
English teams can't face each other in the round of 16, so Arsenal gotta wait for that smoke.
You're better than you.
I didn't even say it. I did not say it. Did you? I
was gonna say, what the hell?
I didn't say nothing, bro.
You there?
Eric Ten Hag, you've changed my life. Where would I be without you?
Go buy a kit then.
Huh? No, I'm buying a kit. I feel happy. I feel well enough to buy a kit.
Yeah,
you'll see me in the kit. Once the Glazers go, I'll buy a kit. Once the Glazers sell up and I'll buy a kit. 100%. Sell up and I'll buy a kit. It's coming. We're getting Qatar money soon, man. Arab money. We're eating good. How much?
You lot still make awful transfers, man.
Sign Saka to that new contract. Don't worry, we're signing him anyway. Don't worry, man. How much?
You lot even pen down Rashford.
How much bread do you want for Saka, bro?
You lot even pen down Rashford. Bro?
How much?
Pat your own house before you try to start coming out to play.
200 mil. I think he could be the first 200 million pound winger.
If you lot bring 200 mil for Saka, you know what Arsenal would do?
What's that?
I think they'll rip that shit up.
You rip that shit up. You can't.
They'll rip that shit. They'll rip up that check. They'll rip up that check.
Frankie can't turn down that money. Eddie, imagine the amount of Brazilian 4th tier players he can go and sign with that money. Come on, man, be for real.
We'll build another Saka though. We're calm. Like our academy is stacked.
Stacked, yeah. Make sure, because right now it's only Saka that's coming through. It's a good one to come through.
Ethan's there as well. Allow it, bro.
Yeah. Ethan.
Don't worry about our academy, bro.
Now he's hedging his bets on a 15-year-old, bro. Get out of here. That's been the final third European Rearview show. I'm moved. Sorry. Emotional again. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna have a big day of football on Sunday. So make sure you're locked in to the final third show. Watch alongs, studio, all of that good stuff. Make sure you're locked in. I've been your host, Banks, joined by my ever faithful co-host, Lavish or Oluwashemi Laurie or Kante's cousin. Hope you have a very good night. Ten Hag, I hope you sleep well. Lisandro Martinez, I hope you have a great night. Rafael Varane, just ice your legs up. Just get yourself in the ice bath right now. Good night.
You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so coachable.
Wow, you should be in
Just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We bailed you out. We bailed you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You face charges.